What I'm about to show you with Notion's 3.0 new AI agent will completely change how you think about using Notion and AI. As I film this, the Make with Notion keynote has just dropped with a bunch of new announcements, and honestly, I really think some minds are going to be blown here. Top of the list has to be
the world's most advanced knowledge work agent.
After testing it with my new personalized multi-mode AgentOS system instructions, this is one video I think you're going to want to watch to the end. It does things I just didn't think were possible. Bottom line, Notion just became far more useful and more powerful for far more people. I mean, I'm probably cancelling my paid ChatGPT subscription for this.
Anything you can do with Notion, your Notion AI agent can do.
Hi, it's Simon. Welcome back to Better Creating. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what's possible when you combine Notion's new agent with a properly designed instruction system. Plus, stick around for a quick breakdown of all the other major announcements from the Make with Notion event, from custom GPT automations to database row permissions. It really does change a lot. And bonus, I even made the keynote. And at the heart of this video, I want to demo something very new I've been developing that I'm super proud of. This is AgentOS, a carefully crafted set of agent system instructions, currently with 6 specialist modes that can be automatically selected by the AI. It's like having a whole team of specialists working in your Notion workspace. So if you want to get ahead of this curve, stick around and you can download AgentOS as a whole template or in component parts bettercreating.com/AgentOS and on Notion's marketplace. And to all you LifeOS template owners out there, yep, AgentOS is designed to plug and play with LifeOS. So you just mention your databases, set it as your profile, and you're good to go. So go ahead and download if you want to use it with LifeOS. Right, let's dive in. So first, let me set the stage with what Notion actually announced, because this isn't just an update. It's, I think, a fundamental shift in what Notion will be for a lot of people. So Notion 1.0 was about documents. Notion 2.0 brought us databases, and Notion 3.0 introduces something completely different: AI agents that actually help you work and do things for you. The headline feature is Notion Agent, and this isn't like the AI we've had before. This is AI that forms a plan, executes multiple steps, and completes entire workflows without you having to prompt it over and over. Think of it as having a Notion power user built right into your workspace. It's also notably, I think, a great step towards Notion becoming more accessible and powerful for the user, not just the experienced builder. And you can ask the agent to create entire databases or pages in simple language, and it just does it. Wild. But I believe the real promise here has to be personalization and customization. If we click on Nosy here and click on the personalization button, you see you're able to name your AI, and it initially looks like a fun way to give it a bit of a personality and a way of behaving and a name, maybe a nice accessory. But then if we add setup instructions, we can guide its behavior. You could use one of their templates or create your own. And if I use the one I've already created, which is my master instructions for AgentOS, I found there are some powerful ways to use it, with personal context, tone of voice guides, a mode picker, and you can even set its memory and specialist skills. You're able to set operating rules, create additional modes, and add your tone of voice in the way you want it to speak and behave, and even set it to update itself with its own memories and notes to improve as it goes. It's like having a personal assistant who knows your quirks and workflow. Now, it's worth noting that this isn't on mobile just yet, but that will be coming soon. So now that I've named it, given it a vibe, and personalized its instructions, we can now ask my agent what it does. And you can select an AI model. I recommend personally using one of the top 2 or Auto, and I prefer Claude for most things, particularly writing tasks. I just prefer its approach, but you can choose. And to demo it, you can also view it in a sidebar like this. So if you click on any page, you can open up the sidebar and you can set it to either be floating or, as I have, a sidebar so you can continue to work with it. So why don't we ask the AI to introduce themselves and tell us what it specializes in. If we send that to it, you'll now see my custom instructions working. Uniquely to mine, it's viewed my tone of voice guide, and it's selected an active mode. It's given me a quote and then it's told me who it is and what it specializes in. And as you can see here, it specializes in being an assistant, a productivity coach, a decision-making coach, a vision coach, an advanced note and text transformer, and a content writer. And what's really cool is it does this exact thing that I've trained it to do, selecting the best mode based on my request. So of course, there is a caveat about money here. You do need to be on a Notion paid business plan in order to access all of these key features of the agent. But here's the thing. Now that Claude Sonnet and ChatGPT-5 are built in with this system, this is the perfect moment to consider moving. I'm actually going to be cancelling my Claude and GPT subscriptions and moving to just this business plan because we've got all of these other connectors to connect into other apps. We've got search, research mode, meeting notes, and it's all built into Notion. Plus, I'm going to be able to use those connectors and coming automations and custom agents that they're going to be offering within my Notion workspace. So if you're a Notion user, this could be the right moment to shift your AI usage through a paid Notion account. Now, I've been experimenting with this, with these AgentOS instructions, and the results are, well, I'm about to show you rather than tell you. But before that, there was one other major AI-related announcement at Make with Notion that we just have to address, and that was a preview of going even further with this, native custom GPTs. Now, this idea was actually my #1 suggestion and request of the Notion dev team to develop for Notion AI going forward. And so I'm super hyped that they're doing it and allowing deeper and more advanced AI support to work in Notion. Custom agents will allow configurable agents for specific workflows, agent integrations, connect custom agents with tools such as MCP or your Slack, and most excitingly perhaps for me, agent automations that will allow you to schedule agents to run automatically. Now, this is AgentOS. I've built it into a full system with like guides and good practices. It lists the modes that I've got in there. So I've currently got a workspace assistant, a productivity coach, a decision coach, a vision and goals coach, a meeting notes transformer, which does advanced transformations of information, and then a full-on content writer and repurposer, and a bunch of bits of guides here. We've got an agent prompts gallery of loads of cool examples of ways you might prompt your agent, which is quite fun. I'll try and make that available separately. And then we've got a place to share feedback and a way to onboard. And this has got some quite advanced instructions in it. Now, Notion have done a really brilliant job of making the main system instructions for the Notion AI be incredibly robust so that they will update your workspace, find the right databases and information. It's really intuitive. It will create entire databases or find information and add tasks quite well. But we found there were lots of ways we could significantly improve it. And the first one, and the most obvious one, is probably this, that there's actually only one page option for your agent instructions. So that means that technically you can only have one specialist in there. And so changing between them is really quite annoying. You'd have to kind of edit the instructions and find another one, and so on and so forth. But actually, there's a really easy solution, which is quite hard to implement, a mode picker. So we built this mode picker so that it will pick this single best fit mode to use, and then a bunch of modes listed below, identification information on them and how it must always use those modes, and then all of the actual individual page instructions. If we go to the decision maker, then we can jump into much more bespoke instructions around how it should operate, critical process guidelines, and all the rest. So you can go really deep with it. But this means an AI generally with system instructions can only read so many words before it kind of doesn't pay attention. And this just focuses it per job, which I think really makes a difference. The other thing is we've helped it be more specific about the databases it uses. So it's linked specifically here to my databases. And we've actually even created a onboarding system to this template. You can insert them really intuitively in here. You can add your own style guides, and using synced blocks, they'll turn up in the right place within the system. Pretty cool. So I think it's probably time to just show you how this thing works and how effective it can be. First of all, hi. Start work next week. Now, based on that prompt, I would expect it to choose my productivity coach. There you go. It's noting that it needs to follow my mode picker protocol, and it's viewing a couple of pages, and there's the mode. There's the quote I ask it to always give me, a quote, and it's introducing itself, and it's suggesting a couple of approaches. Look at that. It uses my part-time productivity methodology. Nice, bit of a promotion there. Since you're thinking about starting work, let me ask a few coaching questions. What are your biggest priorities? Are you starting something completely new? What's been your main challenge? My main suggestion for starting strong is a simple Sunday setup routine. Look at that. So without my instructions, the AI would not have behaved like that. And that's a great example of how this can work. So let's now demonstrate how good the agent is at looking at specific information. So I've spelt it wrong, but it should work it out. What do I have to get done next week in tasks? I'll check your task database. Now there you go. There's the specified database that we added in those system instructions. There's hundreds of task databases in my system because I make templates, so that's gone well. It's now searching the data sources. So there you go. This is a pretty good answer. It said, I've got some follow-up emails on my LifeOS products. That is something we want to work on. Sorting this out was a big task. And look at that. Create your first AgentOS Mode Lite template. Nice. And it's given me a general overview of tasks that I should be covering. Very nice. And here is a great example of it using memory. Since October is going to be extremely busy, as noted in your profile, I'd suggest next week you get ahead with some of these. Very impressive. All right, so let's now change to this. I'd like to set a goal for October. Let's see if it switches modes. Great. It's moving to goal setting mode. Reading the instructions, you can see now it's gone into that, and it starts with a new quote. A goal is a dream with a deadline. Nice. It's starting with the instructions, which I ask it to do, which is scope, and it always scopes in this way. See, October with connect this to your yearly goals and long-term vision. Nice. Really nice that it's seeing this and asking these questions. Let's do option 3, quick 5-minute plan, and let's search the workspace and let me know existing October goals. So now it's checking my goals database. And it started to coach me. So with this training, it's encouraging me not to add more goals, essentially, in a really thoughtful way. Look, you've already got goals of launching this and attending some events. Maybe we just make there be a focus filter. Great. Let's have a focus filter on maximizing AgentOS and doing those events. Nice. Your daily decision. AgentOS plus events equals yes, everything else November. It protects my energy, sounds like the right focus, and it's given me like ways of making a daily decision. Fantastic. So there's a nice example. Okay, so those are some cool coaching examples. Now let's look at some note-taking and writing examples, some more creative options that this thing is really good at. So if we jump back into the system, this time I'm going to use it in sidebar mode and maybe open it up a little bit. And let's ask it to help us transcribe some meeting notes. So I can ask it to turn this conversation into detailed meeting notes. And if I want, I can give it context by mentioning a certain meeting from my system within my notes and meetings, or you can click on the @ to find it within here. So maybe we go, so we could search within there for anything related to end-to-end, or you could navigate to the page within your system. So I might jump to notes and meetings in Better Creating, have a little look at some of the recent live meetings that I've had going on. For example, my directors meeting here, if we open that page up, and we can select this page and do that. Hopefully it should select the right mode. There you go, mode 5 is selected, and it can see the transcript, and it's going to recommend some. So it's picking top recommendations. So we've got creative note session write-up specifically designed for theatre and film. Fantastic first recommendation. Executive summaries. These are all things that I've created myself within the system. So if I show you what this is actually referring to for context, it's using this page. It's doing this first step, suggesting things, and it's used that to find the right one. And then you'll find down here top level instructions. And if we go right down, it's going to be using, if we use our creative notes, this set of instructions for creating the notes. So if we now jump back to this page and go, please use 9. Great. Let's go. And here it goes. Summary, me and Mela who were meeting, and then it's going to work through conversations, departments effective, and then it's going to start quoting things. So you'll see that it's really being quite specific about the details. Lights are coming late and I'll just do my best. We're okay. So this is a much more bespoke conversation report than you would get from the normal AI meeting notes. So where does this leave us? It's created it and it's now asking if I'd like it to hand off to mode 1. Go ahead, let's add this full document to the existing meeting page. Let's see what happens. It's viewing mode 1 instructions now. And it's updating the exact page. There you go. And let's see, it should just drop it in down here. And here's a great example of Notion AI's kind of fundamental programming. It's got a read-only preservation on this page, right? So it's actually not allowing me to do it. So let's create a new entry. So if we now go back to Better Creating and the meeting notes page, we should see the new entry being created right now. It's been automatically linked to the correct pages here. So this is a life area and this is a project. It's doing all of that on its own based on my instructions. And you'll see it's now dropping all of those notes that we've asked it to drop into that page. Pretty incredible stuff. It's even added it a little icon. Report on what it's done. And we could also add specific action items into the task database. Just add task to call Mela on Monday. So let's just see how that now operates. Now I've trained mine to drop tasks into my inbox so I can see them in my quick inbox view. So if we open this up a little bit, you should see it turn up in here. It's gone to the task database. It's creating the pages. Call Mela is being created for Monday. And there we go. It's added it to my quick drop inbox. It's given it a deep work priority, a due date. It's linked to all the correct places and assigned it to me. I mean, how cool is that? I can add it to my system and it's good to go for Monday. There you go. So what we're seeing is Agent automatically picking the right mode for each task, then executing multi-step workflows that would have taken me hours to do manually. And it will even do things like this, deep research and generating content in my own style, and even repurpose it into social media posts from that original writing. And all of this following the specific methodologies that I've built into my own modes. I really do think that this is the future of productivity. AI that doesn't just help you think, but actually executes your thinking with you, learning as it goes. So here's what I've realized testing this system. We're not just getting better AI, we're getting AI that can actually operate our systems, but only if those systems are properly designed. That's why I'm making my AgentOS template available, and here's what makes them special. The master profile gives you the ultimate multimodal agent system. The decision-making coach helps you apply proven frameworks to make better choices faster, and the meeting notes transformer is turning raw transcripts into structured, actionable summaries with 12 different specialized options. That vision coach is also providing expert guidance using research-backed frameworks for complete reviews and goal creation. And my Essentialist productivity coach helps you focus on what matters using a less but better philosophy. Some of these are free, some are paid, and they're all available at Notion's new agent personalization section on the marketplace, or you can get them at bettercreating.com/AgentOS. And as a reminder, if you're already using one of my LifeOS templates, this is super easy to just download and connect it. The database targeting system is actually based on everything that's in my LifeOS system, so it integrates seamlessly. I think we've got your back. So that's agents. Let me know what you make of it all in the comments. And if, like me, this is encouraging you to move to pay for Notion AI as your AI provider of choice. Next, however, whilst Agent is my standout headline, Notion announced several other features that are going to transform how we work. So here's a speed breakdown of the other big headlines you need to know about from the Make with Notion event. 1. Database row permissions are here. Easily the biggest non-AI related update this year. Many of us have waited for years for this, and it means that you can finally control who sees what within your database on a row or page level. And we now have the means to use Notion for far more comprehensive business and collaborative solutions. You'll be able to now host external clients, for example, and collaborators in one database, granting access only to their client-facing information, keeping them from everyone else's information and the stuff you've written down about them. With a single database, you could easily have one source of truth for all sensitive data protected. Awesome. More on that soon. Database containers are going to let you package multiple database sources into unified views. Think of that as a super-powered database relationship that actually makes sense. We also recently got AI formulas. Check out my recent video on my task tracker that goes into depth about how great that is. And I believe meeting notes are getting a bit of an improvement soon too. I'm in the alpha testing for some really cool stuff. And we're going to get better AI analytics to understand how your workspace is being used. Plus, there are more improvements to offline mode coming, a new maps functionality for location-based data, very cool, and updates to the certification and partnership programs for Notion. Each of these might seem small, but together I think they really do represent Notion becoming a true operating system for knowledge work, not just a note-taking app and database setup. This AI is just changing a lot. I think this is the year Notion has changed into something far more useful and powerful for far more people. Notion 3.0 and Agent mean that where Notion used to feel limited by your ability to custom build a system that works for you, Agent's allowing us to work as users and collaborate, iterate without needing quite as much expertise. It also means for template creators like me, we can more confidently give you guys workspaces and now agent instructions that will liberate you to get things done more easily and in more creative ways. I'm so excited to see what you all make of Agent and my AgentOS, so let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And remember, we've just entered an era of AI that actually does the work. But unless you have the right systems and framework in place, you'll miss out on the true potential of what's possible. So make sure you're subscribed by clicking my face below. And you should watch this video next for more on what's possible with Notion as your central second brain hub, or this one because YouTube thinks you'll like it. See you soon. Bye.